the gate.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of our 4th Age Rhovanion campaign. We are assaulting Thordram. This is the last remaining settlement of Rhun in the north. They do have the one other settlement in Mordor. But this is the last one on the north side of their territory, and so far they have mounted a fairly tepid defense. They only have half-heartedly brought down this single unit of Axemen of Rhun, and we are seeing them off with our copious amounts of slingers. Our battle line here is really, in a lot of ways, a flashback to the very early stages of our campaign, in which we featured mostly skirmishers and cav. And so that's what we have here. We don't have any really stand-up infantry except for these Easterling warband levies, which are not really that great. We probably will be using them, though, because there is a family member here, a unit of Chieftain's Guard, and there are some other Easterling warband and some skirmishers at the top of the hill. But I think we'll just go ahead and move in here. Again, not expecting this to be a terribly dramatic or mysterious battle in terms of how it's going to play out.
Our soldiers have captured the walls. Now is the time to press on and capture this place.
We'll probably see them moving around and maybe coming down to face us around here, or possibly just relocating their entire forces at the top of the plaza there. But it's been a while since I've shown a siege assault that wasn't a big one. We had the siege of Belligant pretty recently, and I've been skipping a lot of these little siege assaults. So I figured, well, it's close enough to a kind of reasonable fight that I figured it might be worthwhile showing it. I think I'll just rush my units through here. We'll fast forward a bit. So this is going to be another, attempt at calling them out from the central square with our ranged units, and then defeating them with our ranged units, our beat-up infantry, and our beat-up cavalry. That Chieftain's Guard unit is probably going to do a fair amount of damage. But I'm at the point where I really do want to get rid of Rhun around here. We're so close, and I don't want to leave them with this settlement where they can keep training men and threatening my sort of borders of their territory. So these axemen are now routing. Our slings are the ones who are getting targeted by the enemy javelins here. But we are getting our men into melee with the bodyguard, where he is taking some losses. And it might be worth throwing the riders in as well. Just slingers are coming. The warband is hanging out in the back, so it's slightly safer for us. Of course, we're going to have to push our way through a lot of slingers and ranged guys to even get here. Alright, that was the enemy general. Very nice. And let's just push through if we can and get these skirmishers to rout. I do want to pursue them. Okay, now here comes the warband, so let's get our cavalry back. So that's pretty decent, and now with just our ranged guys, I think we're going to be all set. This warband unit is probably going to be routed pretty quickly. Get the cavalry way out of the way here. Yeah, those warband don't quite know what they want to do. Alright, here we go. This is the opportunity. They're both out of the plaza here. Wavering and victory. So we'll end the battle there. We are down to about 493 out of 543. I don't know how they got 84 kills, but we have so many survivors. Unless I'm reading that wrong. It looks like we only lost about 50 men. But I guess we had a bunch of, what do you call it, casualties that recover. And that's probably due to the javelins and their skirmishers, maybe, who got some shots in. So there's Thordram. All right, and this is going to be pretty unhappy. So I think we'll go ahead and lay desolate with this again. We've been doing that a lot, but that really does bring up the public order. So we'll get rid of the muster fields as usual and the execution square, and I think keep everything else. This settlement is set up as a financial policy, and they only just have the trader here. You know, I would honestly think that this would be better as military usually, because it's got the livestock and the wild game, both of which can be used to get those advanced tanneries and wool makers so that you can get better armor for your troops. That said, this is not going to be a fantastic military place for us. It does give us vassal axemen eventually. But I think Raycoast, what's that? Oh, this is financial too. So maybe we will convert that to military, but it would be a long time coming because we would need to do a lot of development here. I'm not too terribly excited about that. We've got Tham as the place that's going to be doing most of our military recruitment. This has an open policy, and this already has a fair amount of infrastructure and a good population size. Yeah, so that should be good. And just one season, and that Outland Dominion will be finished. We do have reinforcements coming up here as well. So once that Dominion is done, we can feel better about tearing down some of these other places. And now Rhun is holed up in just a single place, and they've got a family member up here. Now I'm very curious what this is going to do. This is their High Chieftain. And a noble. I'm not seeing an heir, which is... It always makes me wonder, did the game just not give them a faction heir, or did it actually... do they have another unit somewhere that I can't see? So that's a little worrisome. I guess they could have another single unit, or maybe even another large army somewhere around here. But I don't really think so. I would imagine that I would have seen it by now. Alright, let's take a look then at some other parts of our realm. Because yes, if you remember the previous episode or two, we had fought a battle around Garth and reduced the garrison there, and then moved over to besiege Rathwin. We still have to construct the siege equipment here. If I go to attack, yeah, we don't have any of the rams built. So we will just maintain the siege there and see if they have an army nearby to hit us. I don't think that they do, so we'll probably be assaulting this in the next season. Over here is a bit worrisome. We do have an army brought over to relieve Holt, and we may be attacked. I thought I could get over here and slap away the army that was besieging it, while also getting into the city and sallying out. When you do a sally battle, typically the trees are well back away from the settlement walls, and I don't really want to fight the Bjornings in the woods, so fighting a sally at Holt would actually be my best chance of avoiding a lot of trees. So that's what I wanted to do, but as you can see, we are stuck just outside the city. So we may well get hit with this army at the end of the turn. Since we don't have a lot of cash to spend, I think we will go ahead and just end that season. Got a spy down in Harondor. Let's just speed him up. Yep, we're seeing Harad bringing up a lot more men. And it looks like they've easily taken over Harander. Oh my gosh, they got 6 stacks right around here. And here come the Bjornings. And I really don't want to fight this. They've got 3 units of archers, 1 unit of dogs, 3 units of cav. Those are the units that I'm worried about. Actually, 4 archers. And their ruler, who's got 61 Bjorning Guard. So this is not going to be a fun battle, depending on the terrain. We've got a decent amount of archers, but they've got cav, you know, and that's going to be a problem for us. And they've also got archers. Our longbowmen should outrange their woodman bows pretty easily. Okay, this is actually great. Surprisingly, we get some excellent terrain, which means it's going to be very open, good ground for our archers, good ground for our cav. All right, and we do have more cav than I thought. So let's get our longbowmen out front. Now, the thing that I typically do, if you have watched any of my other Let's Plays, is let my skirmish line get charged. I'm going to try not to do that this time. We'll see how successful I am. But I'd really rather they not get charged, because these are my retainer longbows. You know, these are a good unit that I want to keep around. And I'm backing them up with some other archers, some shorter range guys. So let's get our bodyguards together here, and let's get our other cav.
Reinforcements have arrived, but are they in time to take part in the battle?
And we've got a unit of woodmen coming from the city here. Really not going to be that helpful, but I'll run them down. So what I want to do then this time is actually keep my cav fairly close and use them reactively rather than proactively, which is not great. I mean, normally I would be bringing these guys around to one side and trying to take off these rider units one at a time, but that would leave my archers vulnerable. So I think what I have to do is wait, not get my cav too far from my archers, and really make sure that I can take out the units that I want to take out. And so right now we're focused firing down on these woodman bows. And here comes the Bjorning Guard, which is great. Alright, I'm going to bring these guys over here. And these guys could be over here, and I think this is now going to work. Everyone here can skirmish away. This is infantry. You can skirmish from infantry. I believe in you. Yeah, we're not going to see routing happen that quickly, because we are fighting a family member, and so we're getting hit by woodman spears, woodman axes, so we're going to have to pull out, because we've got 2 family members here that I don't want to get killed. Woodman riders right here. Here's some axemen, and we've got some woodman spears fighting us as well. Alright, let's bring the cav around. I think we did pretty decently with regards to their riders. And so now their Bjorning Guard are charging us. We gotta get away, guys. Let's run. See, the Bjorning Guard, one of their features is that they're tall. They're big, burly dudes. Because of their height, I think that gives them extra speed. So that means, look at them running across the battlefield. It's pretty impressive. So far, our archers are doing okay. They're chasing down some foresters. Great. I think we're going to be focused firing on these guys pretty quickly. Let's get these riders. Let's see, there's spears and axes. Let's hit the woodman bows. We're routing in the center. But they don't have anything that's very good. I mean, apart from their general, apart from these, you know, the riders that we dealt with. Okay, they do have Bjorning war dogs, which is causing some fear. Okay, there go archers. And I can see the hounds chasing my general's bodyguard, which is going to be a little annoying. Alright, woodman bows. Let's get out of here and let's do a proper charge with this cav if I can. Yeah, we're getting caught by dogs over here. Let's go hit those bows, and let's come over here. Let's hit the war dogs. Yeah, see, this kind of thing. This is the kind of thing that you don't like to see. Because there's nothing you can do. Given the way war dogs work in Rome Total War, unfortunately. Alright, now I believe the enemy general is chasing down a unit of... what are you, Rhovanion foresters? That's fine. You go to town with that. Let's come over here and help out. We can take out these woodman bows. We're going to get eaten by dogs, but we're going to rout them as well. Now we can hit these spears.
Your general's nerve has broken.
What? Oh, my general. My reinforcement general. Well, that's fine. Okay, well now we can't hit those spears because now they're facing us. But now the bows can hit them right in the back. And we can get ready to hit these axemen. And the Bjorn Guard is still running down my Rhovanion foresters, who have pretty decent speed themselves, apparently. Alright, let's hit those woodmen axes then. That's not a very good charge, but it's enough. Alright, and we don't need to worry about the war dogs anymore, I don't think. Let's get the archers over here a bit closer to the enemy general. And let's get the riders over there too. I'll take you off skirmish, and we're going to run this way. It's going to risk allowing them to catch up. But I do want to get him in range. Okay, yeah, he caught us. Alright, we're in range now. It is raining. And we don't have a ton of ammo left. But these guys are now very tired. We're going to inflict some losses. And then with a cavalry charge, we should be okay. Alright, he's just going to really chase down every single one of these guys while being shot. Alright, I mean... Okay, there we go. Get your attention. Rain has stopped. Yeah, convinced of losing the battle is a good thing to see, right under their morale indicator. Where are the other... Oh, okay, I thought they were with these guys. My other archers. There's 10 of them. Yeah, I think we'll be able to get them. Just get my cavalry ready to chase down routers, if we need to. Which we may not, because this guy may just get shot to death. But he didn't, so we'll chase him down. This is the Bjorning Chieftain. Alright, very good. Heroic victory. Yeah, that was pretty bad. We lost a lot of men. And given the way this army just appeared, like out of nowhere, right around Thrimfeld, we have to expect that that can happen again. That the Bjornings could just get another army somewhere without me knowing. Alright, we got a marriage there. Very nice. Okay, Rhun and North Rhun are now no longer at war, which is a little annoying. We did engineer war between them, but I don't think it did anything. We've got Outland Dominion finished in Tham, which means we can now start working up to our control posts and start getting some military stuff around here. Now, see, the problem with Tham now is that it's really far from any lines. It's right at the edge of the map. Rhun is no longer a threat. North Rhun is likely to be a threat. So, you know, I guess it's probably a good idea to keep building here. Wow, 11,000 in profit this turn. So I guess we can go ahead for control posts. And we will bring the reinforcements up. And let's see, actually. Do we want to try to eliminate Rhun? If I eliminate them, I don't really need to be doing this siege. And then I could move this army somewhere else. I mean, I could take the settlement for myself. I don't really want this because, you know, it's right near Adunabar. I could go back. I could take Moldin, I guess. A little worried about Harad eventually getting up here. Not worried about Khand. Although, Khand, I mean, maybe I should be worried about Khand, because they are very likely to become a horde pretty soon. They're either going to be eliminated, or they're going to be forced into a horde. So we got to see where their family members are at. Probably up here. And if Khand does become a horde, they're probably going to move west somewhere, rather than north. A lot of times you see them go for the Nirn region, so that could very likely happen. Other times they go west towards Harad. But they need this as a victory condition, so they may head up here. And that's another reason maybe not to take Amron Magor for myself. You know, maybe what I'll do instead is just hang out, shadow that army of runes that is moving down into my territory, and just make sure they don't cause any trouble. But keep my spies around, because I do have to start worrying about North Rhun. Now that they don't have another enemy, I mean, they're still at war with Dorwinion, and they're still allied with me, but they do have, you know, a bit freer hand, I guess, because they don't share a border with Rhun anymore. So that is a consideration, that I'll need to keep troops up here in the north. Alright, let's see what else we need to build before we get going. We do have some troops here. I think I'm going to send them right back up to Belagant. These mountain guards and Rhovanion foresters. And I do have some Rhovanion scouts, and I think I'm going to do the same thing over here. It looks like Dorwinion is not interested in taking back Rathwin from me. So we'll see what this is going to look like in terms of an assault. Well, nothing much. This is their ruler. And a bunch of cav and some bowmen. Let's do it. I think this will be just fine. Now, once we take this city, this is when we really have to consider how are we going to approach, you know, the final phase of our Dorwinion War. And our alliance with North Rhun, and I've said this before, we do always have to think about the borders that we present to the AI. This is going to lengthen those borders. So this might be time for us to capture the fort of Karnan from Dale, because we won't need it anymore if we're at war with North Rhun anyway. Okay, I actually don't want you on ram duty, but I'll take you. Alright, we do have Rhovanion spearmen. You guys can push a ram somewhere. Yeah, all of our levies can be doing ram-related things. And this may just be a distraction for the AI, because they've got some archers that they're going to put on the walls, I think. Alright, we've got March Wardens, we've got Light Cav, and we've got a General. I think we're ready to go. So they don't have archers on a wall. They've got Easterling Warband levies on a wall, which is, I guess, an interesting choice. This is a nice wall that they built for us, though. Let's go here. I want to make a couple of holes in this place. But I'm going to probably just ignore these levies. We're going to go through this gate. Yeah, let's go through this this wall too. This will all be stuff that we will have to repair. But I think it's kind of worth it. If we can make a hole here, the levies are going to have to go somewhere, either towards the gate or towards this tower. And if we make 2 holes, then we could isolate them here and make it so that we could capture the gate without them being able to just take it right back. Their Dorwinion bowmen are up here. These guys are going to be, you know, they're decent in melee as well as at range, so they're going to be a bit of a problem. But all the rest is cav. This is the considerably tough Dorwinion noble bodyguard unit. So that'll be good for our mountain guards, I guess.
Our soldiers have reached the gates with a battering ram.
And I am feeling the lack of like low-tier ranged stuff, like slingers, that we could just send up the hill to soak up those arrows. Because I really don't want to do that trick with my retainer longbowmen of just marching them up the hill and coaxing out the enemy from the plaza, because they're going to take a bunch of arrow fire, and I'd rather not. There's 60 men in this unit. That's not a ton.
Our soldiers are at the walls. Now they must batter a way through.
But let's see. I think we got enough places for the AI to focus on. We're not going to fight with these cav. The goal is just to make holes in the wall and capture a tower or 2. And then from there, start moving around trying to capture gates and then get everybody inside.
The enemy gate is
there's the
down.
gate, but we're not going to go
Our
through.
battering ram has done its work.
Not as long as those scouts are there. Okay, we've made a hole there. Looks like they're abandoning the tower. Nobles are staying back for the moment. My March Wardens could go in and do pretty well against the Rhovanion scouts, I think.
The walls are broken. Our troops should be ordered forward.
But before I do that, I do want to capture some towers so we're not just taking a bunch of fire in the back. Alright, and they're doing a pretty good job of covering these entrances, I do have to say. So, I think it will come down to some actual fighting. Let's send the spearmen forward. Let's get our cavalry over here. Send the spearmen in, and if these guys react, that'll open up a place for us to send in our men through one of these other holes. Yeah, like right here. Let's Let's actually hit them. It's probably a bad move, but that at least pins them in place so we can finish this fight. Then we'll go over and support, I guess. Maybe we can start capturing towers over here with these spearmen. Yeah, let's do that. Let's grab this tower. We've got a bit of a bridgehead inside of here now, and if we lose these guys, you know, I'm not too worried about it. Let's move up our infantry a little bit closer, so I can see by the bodies where the towers have their kind of limit of range. Oh, I should have captured this tower. Oh well, as soon as you guys get your act together to get this one, we'll bring it right back out.
Now is the time to press on and capture this place.
Okay, at least I can start feeding men in through here. And if these guys hold out, when they are winning easily against the Easterling Warband levies, so actually losing heavily. They're doing better than I expected, though. So we'll send our spearmen over here, capture this tower if we can, and then start getting some of the towers on our side. Alright, and we're actually firing from here, which is amazing. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier, but turns out we got pretty good range on these longbows. So let's see if we can capture the gate. If we can't, you know, no huge deal. Looks like they're leaving. Awesome. Let's go over to that tower. We got the gate, we got this tower. And so now we can bring our men in. Let's do this with Cav, I guess. They'll be hitting those spearmen right in the back, so I'm not too concerned. And I want the macemen to be going up first, so they can take the heat off of us in terms of that arrow fire. I see you guys over here. Alright, they're routing now. Great. Let's get our cavalry out of there so we can avoid friendly fire. Bring them up here in case we do any street fighting, which actually, let's run them, because if we can catch some of those scouts who are just kind of fiddling around, if they get separated from the Dorwinion nobles, then I'd love to take them out. So another unit of cav in the plaza along with those archers. Alright, they are actually coming down towards us. Let's do this. Let's throw them in. They're actually charging, so we can expect to take some losses here. See what they do. It looks like the archers are coming out of the plaza. We're gonna be winning this, I would say. I'm really quite sure we're gonna win this fight. But let's get our other cav over. Yeah, they actually did a ton of damage. Okay, I'm no longer so sure that we're gonna win this. Well, no, I think we'll win it, but we're just going to take a ton of losses. So that was the power of the Rhovanion Scouts charge, which we had to witness, unfortunately, coming at us instead of the other way around. I don't know how the AI manages to pull off these flawless charges in the middle of city streets. I can never do that myself, but hey. Alright, I think it's time to run the mountain guards. And let's get our longbowmen to target the Dorwinion bows. I don't want to engage these guys with my cavalry because they are pretty tough and they've got reinforcements right here. Very, very dangerous reinforcements. Alright, we're close enough here to start firing. And we are under fire. And I'm going to see if I can just push those bowmen back. What I want to do with the mountain guards is try to target the enemy general. If I can engage him somewhere here outside of the plaza, I can send the other cavalry around. Alright, they're actually not falling for it. They're not going to withdraw here, so I guess we're just going to charge in and let's halt this firing. We don't want to be firing into our cav. Alright, the enemy general's coming in to join us. Doing quite well so far. Don't know if he got a charge off, but at any rate, he is not charging now. He's in melee. We get a couple of guys here resting, just ready to go. Alright, let's run our cav over, because if we can clear out those Rhovanion scouts from the city center, that would be awesome. That would probably cause the Dorwinion nobles to pull back and defend it. Probably taking a bunch of losses in the process. And let's get our longbowmen out of skirmish mode, just so we can get them close enough, like here. Okay, we'll just wait for these guys to stop moving, and then I think we'll just order the charge. Or the, you know, slow waltz into battle. I don't think they're going to lower their lances, so this is not going to be great. Some of them will, though. Okay, good. We get close enough, actually, to shoot them with our longbows from here, so the charge is maybe a little unnecessary. Let's go ahead and pull them out, then. And we'll let the bowmen empty the plaza for us. Once that plaza is emptied, we'll move in. Throw in some more macemen, I guess. We're getting a bit low with some of our men here, down to 20-some, 30-some in another unit. So these, again, these Dorwinion nobles doing a lot of damage. Kind of disappointed our longbowmen have not actually taken out any more of these guys. Okay, there we go. There we go. The plaza is ours. Enemy general is taken down with a hammer to the face. Everybody's routing or fighting to the death. That's the end of the fight. Excellent. So we have one Rhun, leaving Dorwinion with just one settlement. So this is the episode where we reduce our enemies to just rump states, essentially. Now this status could continue for as long as I wanted to. I could just pull back and let Rhun and Dorwinion have their settlements. We're going to just occupy here. This is another homeland for us. Let's see. We'll destroy the Lord's barracks, though. Yeah, we need to repair a lot of this wall. But we'll definitely keep the healer. We will keep the Hall of Feasts. That's going to get us a rogue, as well as some other nice benefits. No spies over here, but this is a military policy, which is good because I do want to use it for military stuff. We don't get our, what is it, the Dorwinion Watch here, like we do Belligant, but we do get March Wardens, so I'm going to keep this military And we're going to see how this goes. Yeah, just to double check, we get, yeah, Dorwinion watch out of here in our very nice Rhovanion colors. So the question is, do I want to start with tearing down any of these buildings? And I think, jeez, I think what we'll do is this. We'll put him, we'll put a bunch of these guys back in hold. How about that? Like some of these infantry guys we don't really need. Actually, that's enough for a blue face. Perfect, I'll take it. And I'll bring you guys back over here. We're going to get some of you retrained. And we can actually pick up some mercenaries. And I won't say no to that. We're making a lot of money this turn. So let's take a look and figure out how we're going to spend that. And, you know, I'm thinking something that would be really nice to have in the center part of our realm is more roads. This is going to cost us a little bit of cash. It's going to bring in, you know, about 80 or so in terms of trade, but it is going to cost us around 100 or 80 some to upkeep. But it's going to mean that we then have roads from Rhovanost all the way to Beligant and potentially beyond once we get into this territory. We have roads over here, so maybe adding some more roads in Nerrig-Zagil might be kind of nice too, and then we'll just build a nice kind of trade network in the area. That still leaves us with some other cash to spend, and I'm thinking we could do with some straight up income. So crop rotation over in Raycoast is going to bring us in about a couple hundred or more actually. And so it is going to cost us just a bit in terms of mismanagement, but there are a few better ways to improve your income than just by upgrading farms in this mod. So that's usually a good choice. Well, with that, folks, I think we're in a good position here to call the episode. We have eliminated most of our opponent's territory. We've basically kicked the Easterlings out of Rhun, and they're now just consigned to East Mordor over here, and we'll decide what to do with that in a little while. We've kicked Dorwinion out of Dorwinion, and they're now only in exile up here in Garth. This leaves us in a really good position, actually, to start considering betraying North Rhun, taking the Fort of Carnan, Gargal, and then bottling up Rhovanion here, possibly taking this settlement from North Rhun because it's going to have a port, and then taking North Rhun's capital potentially, and then leaving them with this. Something along those lines is maybe how we're going to finish out the east. We also have to remember that there is a settlement right here on the island. Hythe, I believe, is the name, and we've got this little tiny settlement right here. So we get the coast going in terms of trade, building it up, and then we'll have some nice income. In terms of our numbers of provinces, we're now up to 20, and so we need to find our last 10. And so I think we're going to get there maybe closer than you think, because once we go to war with North Rhun, a lot is going to happen in a relatively short time, I would say. The only question is, do we wait for them to make the move, or do we decide when that's going to happen? I think that's what we're going to do. So it's been a great alliance, North Rhun, but it was not meant to last. So in the next episode or two, I think you'll see us move on them. Until then, folks, thank you very much for watching, and take care.